here at the Church of the Epiphany in Los Angeles, we all know what has been happening to our nation since this Trump-Pence regime took office in January. There's been an increase in violence, an increase in hatred, an increase in injustice, and they are systematically despoiling our environment, our financial system, and victimizing the poor day after day after day. There is only one way. There is only one way for us to bring justice and bring tolerance back to our national life, and that is for us to protest, to hit the streets, and to demand the removal of this regime this coming November 4th. We are all coming out into the streets, people of faith, people of conscience, and we are going to stay there until this regime is removed. So I'm asking you to join with me as a matter of conscience to help bring our national life back to a life of justice, to the highest ideals on which this nation was founded. Come with me November 4th. I'll be there, and so should you.
I love the way you kiss, the way you ride. I love the way.
Hey guys, this is Keith from Patriot Warrior Media, and I want to talk to you about November 4th, the reasons I'm going regardless of the risk, and what I think may or may not happen. So let's first talk about why I'm going. I guess there would be a number of reasons, some very personal that I'm not going to talk about in public. Some of you know, some of you don't know. So what I will say is the easiest reason I'm going, I guess, is to make sure that if mainstream media does show up, that they don't get the chance to twist the narrative to their own ends. So if CNN shows up, Washington Post, whoever, LA Times, I don't want them out there twisting the facts, changing the narrative from their leftist viewpoints to make the right look bad. So I need to be out there to make sure that there is at least one conservative who is there live streaming, taking video, taking pictures, making sure that the truth gets out there while it's happening before the spin can start. That's the reason why I go to all these things. That's the reason, or one of the reasons, why I'm going to the November 4th event in San Francisco. Other reasons are more personal, I guess. I feel like I have something to prove. Part of that is I want to make sure that, well, I don't want the Antifa or, the communists, any of those guys to know that they can beat me no matter what. They would have to kill me to beat me. That's the only way that's going to happen. That's the only way I'm stopping. And that ain't ever going to happen. So I need to be out there for my own peace of mind to show that I'm not beaten. I got knocked down. I got back up. And I'm never giving up. That's the truth. That's the facts. So, and you might think, yeah, by putting this out there, they're going to be ready. They're going to be looking for me. They already will be. I'm pretty sure. So, any thought I had of flying under the radar disappeared when I showed up in Berkeley last weekend to cover the Antifa march against Antifa violence. And it hadn't even started when the first threats started rolling in, and the final threat was like something going to end you once and for all, or I don't know, something like that. I can't remember what it was. So any hope of flying under the radar and not getting noticed has definitely disappeared, or probably was never there. So I have to go. Regardless of the risk, I'm going to be there on November 4th, and if they still gather in San Francisco, I will be there in some capacity, videoing, taking pictures. Just haven't figured out how to do it without getting caught this time. So I don't know. I'm certainly not going to share what my ideas or thoughts are around that. But yeah, I've got to do it. And when I started this whole journalism thing, I started it in February 1st, actually, with when I went to film the Milo protests at UC Berkeley. when I started getting into it, I told myself, okay, I'm going to give this a year. This is what I said before. A year. I'll see if I can do something. I'll see if I can make something of myself. I'll see if I can, I don't know, make a mark, make a difference. And, you know, I feel like maybe in some small way I have made somewhat of a difference, but I certainly haven't accomplished what I feel like I can accomplish, what I want to accomplish, what I should accomplish, I guess. And I think, I don't know, I don't want to fall short of my own expectations. I know I'm going to do this for more than a year. You know, that I had that thought a while back, but I'm in it for the long haul. So, barring untimely death, I'm in it for the long haul. And I need to reach my potential, whatever it is. I don't want to be forgotten. I don't want to be honest, I don't want to become irrelevant. I don't want to be forgotten. So if I have to put myself in danger and take huge risks to get the story, to get the video, that's what I'll do. I don't know anybody that's going out there on now I forget the date, November 4th. I don't know anyone who is. Patriots have been calling me, texting me, messaging me, telling me not to go, not to show up. Give it a pass. Go to the Joy Gibson event on November 11th, which I may do that. But I have something to prove to myself, and I'm going to do it regardless. You know, the president and founder of the Oath Keepers called me, talked to a couple board members. They're telling me the same thing, don't show up. They said if they were here, they would prevent me from showing up and doing this. So I appreciate the sentiment. I appreciate everyone who has talked to me out of concern and love. But I have to do it. I can't not do it. Whatever the odds are of getting caught, I can't not do it. And I hope the odds aren't greater than I think they are. Because I'm sure the consequences would be far worse than last time. And last time really was bad enough. So, time will tell, I guess.
Off our streets, Nazi scum! 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 Off our streets, Nazi scum!
So what do I think will happen? You know, I've heard it all. I've read it all. I've heard that they're pouring millions and millions of dollars into this event, which they might. Whether or not they'll use it for this November 4th is anybody's guess. I've heard they've been getting weapons training. They've been stocking up on guns. I've heard that they're going to go to police officers' houses to harass or attack their families while the police officers are dealing with the chaos in the streets. I've heard they're going to poison the conservatives' pets to demoralize them. I've heard all kinds of craziness. Some people, depending on who you talk to, will tell you, oh, this is the right or the alt-right or the far right, causing chaos and putting these rumors out there. Some people will tell you it's the far left, the radical left, that's doing the same thing, causing chaos. I have no idea. But what I do know is I need to be out there in case it goes down, as the saying is. If shit goes off, I need to be there. I've heard from people supposedly undercover in different groups that they are chomping at the bit for this to happen, and I've heard from other groups that they don't even know anything's going to happen. So I don't know. Anybody's guess. So as I've said before, what I think will happen, I don't think that they're going to go out there on the get-go and start causing chaos. I think they're going to do, from everything that I can tell, they're going to do like an Occupy Wall Street. They're going to sit, they're going to have their discussions, they might chant, they're not going to be rowdy, they're not going to be crazy, they're not going to break and destroy stuff or attack people unless I show up. because they don't want to get evicted. They don't want to get shut down on day one. That wouldn't prove anything except nullify their whole deal. But they also say they won't disavow anybody who goes to cause chaos. If Antifa shows up, they're not going to disavow Antifa. And speaking of Antifa, you know, you maybe heard the rumors about them partnering with MS-13. I did find out that they hired or paid gang members from Oakland to come and assault people August 27th. I don't know if any of them were involved in my attack. Probably if they were there attacking people. That's probably a pretty good guess, but I do have it on good authority that they were there. Someone who recognized the gang members, saw them. I've heard that, well, the FBI just put out a thing that they've been doing an extraordinary amount of communicating with ISIS. If that's true, if all these three things are true, gang members in Oakland, MS-13, ISIS, that means they are stepping up their game and preparing for something big. Because partnering with those guys are going to put a huge amount of heat on them. They are not going to allow that to come down on them unless they have big plans. So they probably do. Whether or not those plans are going to start on November 4th, no freaking idea. I don't think anybody knows. Anyone who's smart should not be on the streets. Just don't be there. Whatever your ideology is, if you are not a part of them, if they don't know you, don't be on the streets. I know a number of journalists that are not going to be there. I don't know anybody who is actually going to be there except me. So I'm going to assume I'm going to be on my own, and hopefully you guys won't see any videos about me the next day, but if I don't resurface in a few days, start looking. You might see something. Hopefully that's not the case. So I want to say a special thanks to Very Fake News for some of the clips here, and to Fuck Evil Medic Keith Edwards for some of the video clips here that he gave me after he found out that a lot of mine were stolen from Antifa. Their links will be in the description, and I appreciate you guys for watching my little video here, and just thanks for your support. It means the world to me. Thank you.